Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you the time-lapse video for creating this character sheet that I did for somebody's D&D campaign. And while I'm showing you that video, I'm going to be discussing how to go about getting commissions when you are a tiny artist on social media or on the internet in general. So let's get started. So first, I have done a video on my process for doing commissions, and that kind of goes over how I accept them, how I communicate with the client, the sort of terms that I set, as well as how I actually complete the work, the artwork that is ordered. You can see that video. There's going to be a link somewhere on the screen right now, and if you care to look at that side of the process. Today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about how do you get to the point of actually getting commissions? So how do you position yourself in a way that says, I am open to create art for money, basically, especially if you don't have a large following. So at the time of this recording, my Instagram is somewhere around 1,400 followers. I have somewhere around 500 followers or subscribers on YouTube, and I don't even know how many followers on TikTok because I am terrible at using that platform. So by my own definition, I am a tiny artist or a tiny creator. I think that anybody who has less than like 8,000 followers would be considered tiny. And I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing, because I don't think that numbers are everything that they're cracked up to be. A lot of people put a lot more importance or emphasis on the numbers than I think they really warrant, but that's like a whole nother topic. So because you can still position yourself to be an artist who makes money, even with a small following. So I'm going to talk about this in the way that makes the most sense to me, which is sort of in phases, because I believe that the best way to be able to start getting commissions sort of starts the work for that starts long before you actually make the offering or put it out there that you're ready to accept commissions. So I'm going to call this like phase one, or sort of like the pre-commission phase, where you basically get yourself set up on social media if you don't already have a social media account. And if you decide to get a social media, whether it's Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or wherever you decide to go, or if you decide to have multiple platforms, get yourself set up to have an art-only account. An account that 100% is focused on you as an artist and the art that you create. And once you have that, you want to start building a consistent creation process. So a consistent like posting schedule doesn't necessarily have to be every single day. It doesn't even have to be like the same days of the week, but you should try your hardest to at least post, I would say, about 3 or 4 times a week. And that can be very scary. That can be very daunting for somebody who feels like they have to create something new 3 or 4 times a week to post it on social media, but that's actually not something that you need to do. To create content for platforms like TikTok or Instagram, you can actually do a lot for different content variety, because to be honest, I think a lot of the followers, they don't just want to see the same thing over and over and over again anyways. So it's fun to show sort of your process. You can show little video clips of you creating art. You can show art reveals. You can show like the sketch, like a before, and then like the finished product after. You can show your work setup if you have like a really chaotic or fun or clean and aesthetically pleasing workspace where you create art, or if you like work outside. I create art sometimes in my backyard, which is basically a forest, and that's always fun to create content around, just to show a little bit of life behind the scenes of you as an artist. What that does is it helps people to like understand that you are a human being, and they feel a stronger connection to you, almost like you're a friend or like a distant friend when they see your content. So they start to have much warmer feelings about you when they see your content than just, here are pictures I created over and over and over and over again. And that, jumping off the back of that, that also means that you can create different formats of content. So you don't have to just do, on Instagram, for example, you don't just have to do a post and then another post and then another post and then another post. You can actually do like a post today of art that you created, and then tomorrow or a few days later you can create a reel of you creating that art or of you creating a new piece, and then sometime in between there or right after that, you can post something to your stories. And I personally like to have my Instagram stories be little snapshots of my daily life as a human being and not necessarily as an artist. So pictures of like my daily walks or of the waterfront that I go to when I want to go have some donuts. I have donuts and eat on the water side, and I like to share just little snippets of just my life outside of art. All of that is building the foundation of saying that I am a human who creates art. And then what follows from that is the type of art that you create. So basically back in like a previous life, I was a freelance web designer and virtual assistant. And I did that for about 12 years. So I learned a lot about how to set yourself up for success as a freelancer, how to get clients, how to keep clients, how to get repeat clients and referrals and things like that. And I use a lot of that in my practice as a commission artist. And the cornerstone for most clients, even if they're friends and family, but especially when you start to move outside of friends and family ordering commissions from you, they have to see what you have done or what you can do. They have to have proof that basically you can complete the job that you're saying you can do. And you basically can show that by creating the art that you want to get paid for before you're starting to get paid for it. So as an example, I create portraits of people, animals, usually pets, and fantasy creatures, because that's the art that I love to create. And that's also the art that I want to get paid to create. So long before I've even said that I'm ready to accept commissions, I start posting images that I've created of those subjects. And that is building a catalog that I can refer to when I feel ready to jump and say that I'm taking commissions. I have a catalog of examples basically that I can show that say like, look, I can draw or paint or create these things, and now I would like to do them for you in exchange for payment. And I don't think that there's any hard and fast rule as far as like how many you have to create or how long you have to be creating it before you can say that you're ready for commission. I think a lot of it has to do with skill level and confidence. So even if you feel like you're just a beginner artist, believe it or not, there is still a market for commission art from beginner artists. So I wouldn't be too worried about making sure that you are absolute pro at, or you feel at your pro level at whatever it is that you create. I would start where you are, sort of pick and choose things to hone in on and to develop so that your skills start to grow and people can see a progression so that you're actually growing as an artist. And then basically when you feel like you are ready to take on the responsibility of completing commissions, that's when I would start to make my offering or start to say that I am ready to accept commissions. And the way that I do it is I create a post with multiple slides. The first slide obviously says something like now accepting commissions or commissions now open. And then the next several slides will detail the types of commissions that I will do. So portrait style, half body, full body, and the prices for those, as well as the types of subjects that I will draw and the types of subjects that I will not draw. So these like kind of lay down the ground rules for before people even start to request things, they know sort of where my lines are of what I can draw and what I'm happy to draw and what I can't draw or don't want to draw and won't draw. They also know pretty much before they even talk to me what the price is going to be, and I don't really negotiate the price. And at the point that they actually come to message me, it's just a matter of working out the details of what they actually want and then how the payment structure is going to be. And again, I talk about this in the other video. And then it's on me, of course, to sort of sort through the requests that I get. Usually the windows that I set for myself are about 8 to 10 openings at a time. And then I sort of sort them by who messaged me first, and then I get to work and I let everybody know like when theirs is projected to be done. The biggest thing that I think a lot of new artists or artists who haven't done commission work before and are looking to start get confused on is this idea that you have to have a huge following in order to get people who are interested in paying for your art. And that is really just not the case, because the foundation work that you do in setting yourself up as a human being who creates art is vital to making sure that not only that you have, you don't want a huge following of robots. You don't want a huge following of people who don't give a crap about you. You could have 50,000 followers and extremely low engagement And if you have extremely low engagement, you're probably not going to get very many commissions. So I think that the biggest myth that really needs to be busted when it comes to this world is that numbers equal success. It's just not the case. And I would personally much rather have a smaller following of people who like me as an artist and or a person, and people who actually like give a crap when I post, than a following of tens of thousands of people who I'm just another number to them. So the foundation work that you do at the very beginning, and even if you've already had your account for a long time and you haven't been doing this, you can start at any point in time to start doing foundation work where you establish yourself as a human being who creates art, and then establish the type of art that you like to / want to create for money. That's sort of the biggest / best work that you can do when it comes to positioning yourself to begin accepting commissions. Because once you have at least some people who are following you, you have a decent engagement rate with the posts that you make, then you know you have what is called sort of a warm market. You have people who, once you make the posting that say, hey, I'm ready to start taking commissions, they will want to hit you up. They will want to message you and say, hey, I have an idea. Can you make this? And then you're pretty much off to the races from there. And of course, once you start actually getting and completing commissions, you can then use those as even further social proof that you can actually complete the work that you're claiming that you can complete. And you have a backing of hopefully happy previous customers or clients. And then it becomes sort of a snowball effect for you. So hopefully these tips help. I know that a little bit of it is sort of conceptual, but I think that there are some actionable tips that hopefully you can start doing today, and very soon those can turn into you putting yourself out there to accepting commissions and starting to get commissions. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them down below, and I will talk to you in the next video. Thank you.